Hello everybody and welcome to the Letterbox Book Club. My name is Mackenzie.
And my name is Claire. I didn't know we were recording.
I almost said my name is Claire. And today we will be discussing The Silent Patient.
By Michaelides. No, Alex Michaelides. That's so confidently. I was practicing in the car, like his full name. Alex Michaelides. Just Michaelides.
Okay, hang on. When my Goodreads wants to pop up. Also, welcome to spooky season.
Yep. I completely forgot about the element. I'm so out of it right now.
Also, we are going to be making candles while we record today because I need to be doing something with my hands.
And crafting is fun.
Yes. So we are very excited. Also, Penelope is doing her thing in the background. Okay, yes, by Alex Michaelides. I shall start us off with the blurb. Alicia Berenson's life is seemingly perfect. A famous painter married to an in-demand fashion photographer. She lives in a grand house with big windows overlooking a park in one of London's most desirable areas. One evening, her husband Gabriel returns home late from a fashion shoot, and Alicia shoots him 5 times in the face, and then never speaks another word. Alicia's refusal to talk or give any kind of explanation turns domestic tragedy into something far grander, a mystery that captures the public imagination and casts Alicia into notoriety. The price of her art skyrockets, and she, the silent patient, is hidden away from the tabloids and spotlight at the Grove, a secure forensic unit in North London. Theo Faber is a criminal psychotherapist who has waited a long time for the opportunity to work with Alicia. His determination to get her to talk and unravel the mystery of why she shot her husband takes him down a twisting path into his own motivations, a search for the truth that threatens to consume him. Thoughts, feelings, emotions,
I think we should just unbox everything.
Okay, let's do unboxing
to get the noise out of the way. So we got a little candle making kit because a couple of years ago, Ken's and I were really into just candle making, and we got a more comprehensive kit.
Intricate.
Yeah, a more intricate kit, and this is just like a little baby one from Kmart. So we're taking this opportunity to just unwrap everything and just make some noise.
ASMR. Oh, it already smells really nice, so. I've got the scent. It smells like fresh linen. I love fresh linen as a scent.
Lovely.
Second, 2 vanilla.
Oh, we've got some.
I've got a whole heap
bubble wrap.
of wax. We've got 2 candle glasses.
Yep. We've got some stick-on wicks and candle holders, which are just like paddle pop sticks, which are effective. Got some little essence oil.
We have a stirrer. Oh, and some gloves.
Only babies wear gloves. I didn't use gloves last time.
Oh, I will wear gloves.
And we also...
Oh, it's lavender essential oil.
Ooh.
Excuse me.
I just saw it as essential oil. I didn't know what scent it was. And we also just took it upon ourselves and bought some candle dye. Because why make it interesting? Also, some bubble wrap. ASMR.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
All right, now just relax your head. And oh, I love it. No, let's just take some pictures and just put it on Instagram.
With my quiches in the background.
With your quiche, yeah, why not?
I'm on a hyperfixation of mini quiches at the moment.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. Whatever gets you to consume food, it's all that matters. Alright, and when I say like the last candle making kit was like intricate and comprehensive, like we got like a special jug and everything, and
yeah,
it was all good. And it's just my anxiety of like using pots and pans for melting wax.
Okay, also, and the last ones came with sticky things on the bottom of the wick, but this one doesn't, but I figure it'll just hold it in place like this.
I mean, I did say hot glue gun.
I know, but I remember that our last ones came, like, why would they do this to me?
They lied to you.
But that's okay.
So yeah, right now we're just setting up the wicks into the candle jars. Alright, now, once I open this, we can...
This is like almost the Christmas colours that I'm going for this year, remember?
Yeah,
so
true.
This, I feel like, has been a whole week of manifestation.
Look how, like, wonky this wick is.
I know.
Like, it's a limp wick. Once these are set, we can...
I feel like that's not in the middle and it's going to annoy me, but that's okay.
I just need to really straighten this up.
Should I read? I should read the instructions, shouldn't I? tips. It's not even instructions, it's just tips.
I mean, it's really easy. Like, I know,
Yeah.
we know how to do it. Oh my god, this is really curved. Ideally, glue the wick down.
Well, the wax will keep it.
Yeah. This is just a center, like, this wick is just curved, so I'm just going to leave it like that. It would actually be so much better if the wick was longer. Because, like,
I know.
when we pour, I suppose we can hold down on the stick as we pour to hold it in place.
I can't get my glove on. There we go.
Alright. Oh, it smells so good. I'm not getting the lavender.
Yeah, I'm getting more fresh linen. Are you getting fresh linen?
I wouldn't say fresh linen. It is floral. I just can't quite place it, but it's definitely not lavender. So, Kmart, you're lying to us. What the fuck? And yeah, candle making is just so fun, and it's cute, and you can just experiment with all different colours. And alrighty, thoughts, feelings, and emotions.
No, I asked you first.
I know, but I'm just like segueing back into the conversation.
No.
Oh, hang on. Wait, I'm gonna do this first.
I'm just portioning my wax into 2 separate containers to melt.
Yeah, ideally use a...
Claire doesn't believe in the microwave, but I do. So
In the what?
the microwave.
No, I believe in the microwave. I just don't believe in these plastic containers.
Why not?
I don't know, I'm just scared. I'm just a paranoid bitch. Honestly, it's hard to believe that this is like so much wax, and that it's just...
I know. It's
when
because
it's liquid,
it melts.
it melts down.
You know, we should have made Halloween candles.
We should.
There were Halloween candle kits, weren't there?
I saw one online,
Oh, yeah.
I think, but I think from...
Oh,
That's
let's just pretend we're making Halloween candles, everyone.
Well, we can... No, there's no orange. Is
There's
there orange?
rust. No, I'm
Rust
doing.
isn't good
I'm gonna
enough.
do mint and peach.
I'm just gonna do like a mint or a light blue. So what do we have? We have blue. We have...
We have mint,
Peach.
we have pink, we have peach, and we have rust.
I'll do rust. I'll do the other 2.
Okay. Rust and pink.
Yep.
Cool. Do thoughts, feelings, emotions, and then
Alright.
I'll melt us down.
Okay, cool. Thoughts and emotions.
We'll do one each at a time.
Yeah. I'm just trying to get this all even, or relatively even. I mean, it doesn't matter because you're just gonna have to...
Yeah, I'm just gonna take my gloves off
Alright,
so I can eat.
question. How are we gonna pour these in? Do you have like a funnel or something that we can sacrifice?
No, I'm just gonna do this.
You're just gonna raw dog it?
And do that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can pour yours if you want. If you're too afraid.
Well, that's about even. Alright, sure. I'll let you do that. You're used to burning yourself as a chef. What's a wax burn to add to the trauma?
Exactly.
Alright, I really enjoyed this book. I was thoroughly bamboozled. I was incredibly invested in Alicia's story. But is it Alicia or is it Alicia? Well, I guess we'll never know. Alex, Mr. Michaelides, sir, let us know, please. Yeah, very intrigued in the story. Completely bamboozled at the end, which was great because I just wasn't really thinking about that because you just think of Theo as someone who has that sort of savior complex and he wants to be the one to like solve the case and figure everything out. So I liked where that was going. Yeah, very concise. Although for a psychotherapist, I was really kind of taken aback how he turned into like almost murder investigator as well, or a detective trying to figure things out. But I suppose for a patient, you have to understand and know about like all aspects of your client/patient's life. So, or at least what led to the moment. So that was really interesting. Yeah, really enjoyed it. What about you, Kenzie? Thoughts, feelings, and emotions? Oh wait, yeah, you're eating. Sorry.
We're eating this the way I ate this book, slowly and painfully.
Oh my god. It was boring. I will admit, it was a bit boring, but
I hated this book. I have a personal vengeance against Alex Michaelides now. It's been a very long time since I've gone into something critically.
Oh, so you're putting your critical hat on. Okay, all right, go for it.
It's so hard because, you know, we consume so much smut. And, like, people would say that, like, that's such brain-rotting content, like, it's shit, blah, 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 along the lines of, like, TikTok sensation. But it seems outside of smut, when anything is considered a TikTok sensation, it's just going to translate as, this is shit.
Right, yeah. Or hit or miss, really.
Hit or miss, yes. Which I'm now worried for several other books, but that's besides the point. Yeah, there were several things about this book that would have uncovered the twist earlier
Mm-hmm.
if it was just like written well.
Right, yeah. Fair enough.
And I'll explain them soon when we get to it. I disagree with your psychotherapist thing because as a like a therapist or whatever, like your objective is to stay unbiased. So
Right.
you shouldn't like you should be coming at it as like a therapist way, like just trying to get her intricate personality or whatever. He doesn't need to solve the murder. That's not part of his job. Part of his like that's the police's job.
Yeah, I think that's I suppose that's your number one red flag.
Yes.
From the beginning.
Yes. Yeah, overall it was shit. Didn't enjoy it. Wasn't that shocked by I knew the twist was coming. Essentially this book wants to be Gone Girl.
Really? I'm not familiar. Like I've never watched or seen Gone Girl.
It's good. It's a good watch.
Also
it's a book,
isn't it?
It's a book first.
I've never read it, I've never seen it, but I hear like the acclamations about it, and yeah, it is like a top sort of like a number one mystery sort of book / movie.
And I was always when I was like learning to write and in school and stuff, like it was always show, don't tell. Whereas I feel like this book just reads a lot as he said, she said. And then when you have an unreliable narrator as well, which sometimes often leans into the thriller-esque, like let's talk verity, like with an unrelated, oh my God. What's the word I'm looking for? What did I just say? Unreliable narrator, yeah. So Alex Michaelides is a screenwriter.
Oh.
And so this book very much reads as a script to me. And it like reads to me as a screenplay that's just trying to get a film made.
Oh, that's a very like bold accusation.
Let me microwave. You may talk while I do this, but I can still talk because we have mini mics.
Yeah, you can be anywhere. You can be on the other side of the world. Probably not to that extent. Yeah, that's a very interesting. I didn't really take his writing origin into account because I just assume everyone's just an author for the sake of being an author, like no other sort of intention. But I suppose in saying that, it does make it an easy read, despite how you feel about it, whether it's like the pacing and how boring, and at times it is boring because it really is just him, just musing about himself. But yeah, I get what you mean. It's very like dialogue heavy, and the he said, she said. Yeah, and back to that like unreliable narrator statement, I did see like a criticism on a Goodreads comment, but I'm not sure if it's within my stars or not. But someone was like, there are two certain points, or there are aspects of Alicia's life where it just kind of went unresolved, like they just left it kind of open, or there was no resolution. I forget what it is in regards. But it just comes back to that unreliable narrator where this is really about Theo and his perspective and what he's going through. So he's not ultimately going to care about certain, I don't know, strings that are attached to Alicia because he just doesn't worry him or anything like that. And yeah, it does come off as, I wouldn't even say it was thriller-esque because there was no like, when I think of thriller, I think of urgency, I think of race against time, I think of setbacks, getting ahead, being set back again, and it just wasn't that.
Yeah.
It was only suspenseful as well in the sense that we just want to know the whole story of Alicia, surrounding Alicia's murder towards Gabriel.
Yeah.
And it was really just getting to that point where you kind of stick it out. And then, everything's revealed in the last 20% anyway. Yeah.
I also just hated Theo as a character.
Yeah, I didn't really
because
like
it perpetuates that ideology of hurt people.
Yeah, that's becoming common again with all the books that we've read.
Yeah, which sometimes is true, sometimes is not. Sometimes hurt people do a lot of introspective work to heal themselves so that they don't hurt other people. And his raging savior complex.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But again, you can have a savior complex, and it always will come back to one, keep it simple, stupid, and show you don't tell, because he literally says, "I want to fix her."
Yeah.
Where, we know you want to fix her. You're a psychotherapist.
Yeah.
I don't need to know that you want to do that. I need you to show me that you want to do that by your actions, not your words.
And obviously, the savior complex only comes up until the big twist is revealed that he is involved in Alicia's murder of Gabriel. And, before that, you just think, yeah, he's just someone who is like a huge fanboy of her story, and yeah, he wants to be the one to like break her silence. And
which again, if anyone had done their due diligence and had found out that he's a fan of her art or a fan of her work or whatever, then he would not be assigned as her psychotherapist.
Yeah, there's conflict of interest like 101 and just weird behavior anyway.
Yeah, and also how easy, like, it's so easy that he happens to be in like this line of work.
yeah, of course. And just even from the get-go, when he first entered or started working at the Grove, he's just like, when can I meet Alicia? When can I work with Alicia? This, that, and the other. And is that just not
red flag? Yeah.
Is that yours or mine?
This is for you.
All right,
it's warm. Be careful.
It's okay.
And again, back to like it's reading as a screenplay. The diary, journal entries, or whatever.
Should we have put these with the? With
no,
the
I feel
wax?
like you just put it in and then it will melt in the. A little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. Didn't think this through.
Melt wax dye with soy wax.
Oh,
it's melting.
We can always read.
Yeah. Oh no, it's melting. As long as it's hot enough. Yeah.
Worst case, just put it in again.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. Back to reading like a screenplay. Her diary entries, like, for example, she writes everything down, tears collected in my eyes as I walked up the hill. I wasn't crying for my mother or myself or even that poor homeless man. I was crying for all of us. There's so much pain everywhere and we just close our eyes to it. But I ruined the mood stupidly, clumsily by asking if he would sit for me. I want to paint you. I said again, you already did. That was 4 years ago. I want to paint you again. He didn't look enthusiastic. What kind of thing do you have in mind? I hesitated and then said it was for the Jesus picture. Gabriel sat up and gave a kind of strangled laugh. Oh, come on, Alice. I don't know about anyone else, but when I'm writing in a journal, I'm not reciting word-for-word conversations. No. I'm writing down, like, vague conversation points or paraphrasing.
Just be like, I asked him to sit for another painting.
Yeah, but this is giving me, like, all her emotions, all her motivations, and again, it's reading, like someone's reading a script. And it's like, okay, well, this is what she's thinking, so these are my motivations, and this is how I'm going to, portray this across in my acting.
I'm pouring, for those who don't know. Alright, I think I need a little bit more wax. Unless... That was fine. That was great.
That was fine?
Yeah, that was fine. I don't know why... I don't know what I'm worried about, I'm just scared of shit going wrong and ruining your stuff,
That's okay. You can ruin my table. It was free.
As I can see, like, right here. It's a bit funky. I don't know.
That's curry sausage residue, alright?
Yeah, alright.
It'll come out.
I'm just thinking, do I need to just add more wax just to top it up a bit?
Maybe we should melt that first, though, and put it in there.
I'll put a little bit in here, because otherwise I'm just going to mix the dyes up, because I'll need to top this up.
Oh, yeah?
So, yeah. Yeah. All right. Plan. Good. Done.
Did you put your scent in?
Oh. Sorry, I'm just so...
Proper preparation prevents piss poor performance, Claire.
Who cares? It's fine. Everything is fine. Doesn't matter. Just give it a stir. There we go. I'm just really not impressed by this wonky wick. Fuck. It's like on the edge and like it's.
We'll be able to bend it once the wax like resolidifies.
But the bottom of it is like into the glass.
I didn't expect the dye to like look like
this. I
this.
have to hold it in place. I'll just leave it like that. I don't care anymore. And Kenzie's mixing in hers.
I think that I'm going to make everyone I know candles for Christmas.
Right.
I always love, I know this is so off topic, sorry everyone, but I am really into like the past couple of years, like along with other gifts, but like adding something handmade.
Oh, yeah.
Into the people's gifts for Christmas, because it's just that, that like extra little touch.
Just makes it a bit more personalised and a bit more special.
Maybe I'll get like little shot glass as well, because my children go to daycare and the whole like giving the educators gifts is like a whole thing, and yeah.
And whether or not to, you got to give them a good gift too.
Exactly. So
out gift the other gifters.
So I'll just make handmade candles. Last year I gave them all Christmas cookies that I made, but there was one year for the Christmas party where like a family rang up place that we were having our Christmas party at and put $600 on the tab.
Gee, oh, that's so nice.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
And it's like, I don't have that type of money, so...
Well, it must be nice.
It must be nice, yeah. Okay, do you want me to melt your other one?
Yes, please.
Do you need extra wax in that one?
Oh, no. I'm just going to melt all of that.
Okay.
And then I'm going to tip some in here and then figure out how much I need to top up. And
okay, smart. Also, yeah, Theo. We'll always come back to Theo. I just really don't like him as a character or a person.
Yeah.
Like it says he was abused as a child. That's fine.
He's just trying not to be his father as well.
Exactly. And like, give me any other fucking cliche. But anyway, and so he tried to kill himself in uni because of this, but we are never actually like, and he feels like a failure, but we are never actually told like what was said or like, yeah.
It's just all recollection.
It's just recollection. Yeah, it's like, okay, again, it's like, you are telling me, like, show me, don't tell me. Yeah.
Yeah, because he's trying very hard to, not become angry like his father and end up in that as part of that abusive cycle. But like at the end of the day, like he is just like him as much as he tried so hard to avoid it because of what he did to Alicia and Gabriel that fateful night. Yeah, it's just two-facedness of it all. And then I'll tell you what though, I was getting a little bit confused when he was talking about how he was following his wife's affair partner, and like it was kind of blending in with like the present day happenings. It was a little bit to the confusion, and I'm not sure if that was trying to be some sort of clever, because
it's lazy writing. One, but two, if you imagine it as a movie, it makes sense.
Oh yeah, as a montage.
Exactly, and that's the thing. It's like
he's like in the present day. He's
talking. It's like if you had, I don't know, like put like a disclaimer, like I'm trying, like this is a script or whatever. Then it would have read much more nuanced. Yeah, it would have made more sense. But it's shit.
Fair enough.
Never escaping the shit allegations.
That's okay. And then you're right. That is your feelings. They're valid. Like just that whole montage-esque nature to it. It was just so confusing for a book as well, because I'm like, wait, but if he's kind of retelling the story and at the same time like Alicia is like remembering almost, it's like, it was just a whole perspective of confusion. And I was just gonna say, is it lazy writing, or is it just like he was trying to make it come across as very montage?
It's plot fodder.
Yeah, it just seemed very strange. And that's the only real part that I got confused about, was just like, the timeline and everything. But then it comes back to the unreliable narrator, where is he just leaking his own past life into whatever he's trying to communicate in the present day? And, I was expecting Alicia to not talk the entire time, like even if there was a reveal, because at the end of the day, she had nothing to say. And I felt like, ooh, all right, more wax.
More wax for you, my lady.
Thank you so much. A little bit.
Well, let's talk about Alicia, because she's meant to be this, beautiful, sexy, successful artist, like charming and charismatic, but she comes across antisocial, paranoid, and with the serious codependency issue. She has no friends, no relationship outside of Gabriel, no hobbies or interests outside of painting and having sex.
Oh yeah, they just have a painful amount of sex.
All she does in her chapters is paint, have sex, walk around and start arguments.
Or be like abused by the other men around her as well, which also sucked a little bit for her.
Yeah.
Like, Gabriel's brother Max was all up in her grill, and even Jean-Felix had his old creepy relationship with her, and it's very much, I'm in love with you, but like, you're too good for me. Or he's just in love with her work because she's capable of making a lot of money, especially post-murder. Like, it just seems like there was just no genuine fun life for Alicia, which is unfortunate, which, I mean, probably helps for her to, like, not talk about anything, because, what's the point? She's just been used and abused and unappreciated, and just, low personality traits as well. Sorry, I'm just trying to mix this.
That's okay.
For the podcast. This is going to be really light by the looks of it.
Just add more dye.
And she came across as someone that really had no fights either. Yeah. Like, she just let things happen. Yeah. Especially, like, with Max. She threatened to tell Gabriel everything about Max, like, having his hands on her and just, like, kissing her and everything. Yeah. But she just had no sort of, like, backbone.
And then, like, being put into a psych facility and never talking again. Yeah. And you just, like, accept that fate. It's like, okay.
But I suppose it all leads up to like what was like the final straw for her, and I think that's probably what really intrigued Theo the most. Like whether or not you call it lazy writing or not, at the end of the day, his intention was to figure out like, I feel like it was to figure out what was her final straw, because obviously he didn't know the lead up of her life to that moment. And he's all being all like, I'm not like my father, I'm never going to be angry, I'm never going to be abusive. But then he was, again, involved in such a heinous, violent act towards Alicia and Gabriel anyway. Yeah. He wanted to know, I reckon he just wanted to know what the final straw was. Because killing your spouse over cheating, like, that's a huge overreaction, you know? I'm just doing another pour. That is not a lot of wax at all. What the fuck?
Oh no.
Maybe I had the correct amount to begin with. Unless Kmart lied to us. Although I knew as soon as Alicia had that artwork and named it, what was it? It was a Greek tragedy. Acticus or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Like, as soon as that is mentioned, like, you know that, like, that's going to be the theme.
Yeah.
And it didn't really come across as super clever, but I'm just really... Why is this not melted? I might need to just pop this in for another, like, 10 seconds. Or 20 seconds.
Or 30 or 40.
Or 30 or 40. And I'm not familiar with, like, even, like, Shakespearean tragedies or, like, Greek tragedies, so it was kind of difficult as well to just find the common
You didn't have that
correlation.
hyperfixation as a child?
No. No.
Luke had the ancient Egypt autism.
He still? What do you mean?
He still does.
What's your best ancient Egypt conspiracy theory, Luke? When we redo the conspiracies, it has to be featuring Luke.
Yes. You made me spill wax on myself.
Where?
There.
Abuse. You gotta kill him now.
I have to shoot him 6 times.
Yeah.
You haven't mentioned my biggest gripe of the entire book. Would you like me to tell you?
Sure, go ahead.
Everything would have come undone if Theo's chapters just happened to be dated.
Right, yeah.
And the fact that they weren't was my first red flag.
Ooh, smutty pants. Yeah, I suppose that should have been a little forewarning as well, but oh well.
I think you were given less wax because both of mine come up to like...
Unless I just overpoured this one.
Maybe.
Oh no, it's about right. Oh, they're even, but I feel like
it should at least come up to like here though.
Yeah, look, like the picture, it comes up all the way to the top.
Yeah.
Essentially, or at least the second little
Maybe
rim.
it will expand as it dries.
No.
Is that a thing that happens?
No, it doesn't expand when it dries.
Luke.
Oh no, I just spilled some. Sorry. I ruined your table. I did what was expected.
That's okay. Well, I guess now we know for next time. We just got to get the big bags of wax.
Yeah, you got to just measure it yourself.
Yeah.
400 grams of soy wax, so it should be 200 milligrams each.
Yeah.
I think we were just lied to. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Anyway, it was $10.
Yeah, $10. And hey, have you had fun?
I've had fun.
Yeah, we've had fun. It's all that matters. And hey, at least you can keep the dye for next time.
Yeah. It really irks me how you've poured it like that, but...
Yeah, I didn't mean to. I didn't realise.
I didn't realise, she says.
Anyway, yeah, I think maybe this book just tried too hard to be sophisticated.
Yes.
And it tried too hard to be...
It also was giving incel, because it was riddled with fucking misogyny. Every single patient in the Grove is a female. Never once was it stated that it was a female-only facility.
It was.
It was?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, fuck. Well, there goes that. Anyway.
No, I understand.
Yeah. And, like, the doctors refer to them as bitches.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, no, you would have your, like, license taken off you.
Yeah, it seems like a really outdated sort of practice as well.
And then, like, the medical malpractice of, like, the changing of the dosages and stuff, like, it goes from, like, 10 milligrams to 100 milligrams at one shot or whatever, instead of, like, slowly increasing your dosage. Yeah.
Maybe just the author's poor understanding of how such an institution works. Because, like, when you're trying to write and depict about it, it would be ideal to have accurate sort of representation.
Yeah.
And if that's something neglectful, then Although, yeah, well, look, I know you say it's trash and that's your right, but like I had a fun time reading it again. It was more just to get to the whole revelation, get the full picture of what happened. Or initially when I did read the blurb on Goodreads, and it was all like, yeah, Alicia is done for the murder of killing her husband. I'm like, I support that. Like, what did he do? You know? I support women's wrongs. Oh, what's that Lady Gaga quote? I'm not for whatever murder, but I am for the something of women. Oh, I don't know. It was iconic. Don't want to glorify murder or something. It was a funky read, that's for sure, but I had a good time and I was bamboozled. All right, so plot stuff. Yeah, Theo, psychotherapist. Also, just on Theo in general, how he, despite his wife cheating on him, he just ignores it and just wants to still be with her.
Yeah.
Like, what's the benefit of that? Maybe now that he knows that the lover is dead, like, does he feel like a bit at peace that she won't do it again? I don't know. It was just a whole weird, just his whole sanctimonious attitude of like, I'm not going to leave her. But it's also probably just because he's comfortable. He's like, what, 40 something? Like, he's at that stage in life where feels like he has to settle down, and he'll just do that with his wife. Anyway, plot stuff. Beginning of the book. He pretty much joins up working at the Grove, which is a mental health institution, women's mental health institution, and big media case. Alicia, I forget her last name, but she's there, and he wants to be the one to save her. Blah blah blah. He goes on a bit of a run around trying to figure out her life. In my view, ultimately, what was that final straw in order to have her murder her husband? So he investigates a lot of people surrounding Alicia's life, brother-in-law, which was also her lawyer.
Which feels like a conflict of interest.
Yeah, for sure. An aunt who hated her, like a cousin who sympathized with her, because Alicia really did have a tragic life.
Yes, it also felt like, though, every single side character was just there to pad the plot. Yeah,
and it's just there to be like, blur the lines of, is Alicia actually a good violent person, or a good person, or if she like a violent person, because there were mixed reviews, because Max hated her, said that she was a bitch and she had violent tendencies and outbursts, etc. But then you have her cousin, which I forget the name of. He's like, well, she's just been traumatized, and so he really like sympathized with her and everything. And then another, like her aunt, you didn't like her because she was a bitch.
Yeah.
Etc. etc. So many like conflicting ideas, but that's also just to build up that distrust for the author, for the reader, because who do we trust?
Yeah.
Whose version of Alicia do we believe? And even with Alicia's silence, it's really hard because she doesn't really want to defend herself, and how can we defend herself? And we only have her diary entries to see how much of a victim she was in a lot of things, and then everything is just conflicting.
At the end of the day, it just feels like this is Theo's story, kind of wrapped up in Alicia's life.
It's like
this book isn't about Alicia, it's about Theo.
It's about Theo.
Yeah, because at the end, it's all unraveling, and he's about to get caught for his involvement.
Yeah, which is ironic. Like, he gets the last word.
Yeah.
Yeah, truly. Which is a shame, because I was really keen on it being more of an Alicia only sort of story, and what she had to deal with. But it's a shame that it's all being revealed from a character who had real ill intent, or at least to try and make her remember who he was in everything, and ultimately get caught. So and all the while he's meeting and investigating the people around Alicia's life, he is also actively trying to be her psychotherapist, trying to get her to open up via certain ways. He collaborates with other doctors in the facility and offers various remedies, whether it be medication dosage being lowered so she is not just doped up and she'd almost be lobotomized anyway. And offering art therapy again, because being an artist, or even post murder, she only painted one piece that really symbolized who she was and what she was going to stand for moving forward, and that was her silence and everything. And the title of the piece being that Greek tragedy, which I forget, and I probably just don't know how to say anyway. And obviously Theo is getting nowhere in his therapy because she just doesn't want to talk to him, and she doesn't want to She just doesn't want to, which is her right and fair.
Well, like, she feels like she's already dead. So
Yeah.
she's like, I'm just not going to talk. And it's like, okay, well, kill
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, I don't, like...
She's tried.
Yeah. Like,
she's tried.
but it's just like, it just feels so cheap. Like, oh, she's not defending herself because she doesn't feel she has anything to say. Because she feels like she's already dead. But she lets herself get, like, administered with, like, horse dosage sedatives.
But then your horse dosaged up, and like you can't do anything to help you to kill
But
yourself
then
anyway.
you still manage to hide this diary / also have this really long lucid moment or episode where you can write down everything about the hero's involvement whilst you're like enough morphine to put you into a coma is coursing through your body.
Some people just like that.
Uh-huh,
Just built Or maybe those were more recent entries when her dosages were lowered. Because I feel like the diary had been ongoing.
But still, like her last
Yeah.
thing about like Theo.
Yeah. And then, you know, through all this unraveling from Theo, we realized like there are multiple people who could have had like involvement that led to, yeah, I suppose Alicia's mental breakdown. We learned that Christian West, another psychiatrist working at the Grove, used to informally see her when she was in her paranoia stage about having a man following them or following her, and that was brought to light. So then, you know, you're pinpointing all these things about who could potentially want to keep Alicia quiet, even though she's quite content being silent because that's her whole spiel.
Yes. It's the name of the book.
Name of the book, yeah.
Also, yeah, this whole thing rests on Theo stalking this guy around London who's having an affair with his wife.
Yeah.
And not once does he see his face.
Yeah, no.
Like,
I suppose, yeah, Gabriel's not that aware. But yeah, especially when like Alicia was noticing, surely she could have come across or at least described a better build and like a height thing. And wouldn't even Theo's voice be somewhat noticeable despite him wearing a balaclava? But like I'm sure like the material doesn't muffle you.
This is not a good book, Claire.
I had a fun time reading it, okay? I was bamboozled. I was in it. I was locked in. I'm sorry to disappoint you in that sense. Sorry, my critical hat was not on, but it's being critical right now.
It's okay.
Because I understand. I see the light. You are right, though. I had a fun time. And then all the while, yeah, we're getting excerpts of Alicia's diary and her life. And she had a true tragic upbringing. Like, her mother committed suicide and her father hated Alicia and resented her because she should have been killed instead of her mother, all these things. And then her father commits suicide and then she wants to commit suicide. There's just a whole vicious cycle of negative emotions and just like wanting to die. And then, yeah, all this bubbled over when she killed her husband ultimately. Like, that was the final straw. And again, with the Greek tragedy and everything, like, her father was the first one to physiologically kill her by saying he would rather her dead than his wife, etc. And then again, Gabriel giving up her life for him in that moment would, yeah, physiologically killed her again. So, and then she just remained silent. Yeah, I think ultimately the best way to describe this, yeah, this book tried too hard to be too sophisticated and too like mind fuckery. You saw right through that nonsense, which I appreciate.
At the end of the day, if you want to read it, read it. If you don't, don't. Who am I to tell you what to do?
Yeah,
let them.
Exactly, let them. Like, yeah. So, all right, do you want to recap what happened that fateful night?
Okay, yes. So, where did my notes go?
Oh, I didn't think you liked it enough to have notes.
I've been looking at my notes this whole time, Claire.
Oh yeah, and then even towards the end of the book, after the big reveal, like there is an attempt on Alicia's life, and it was indeed like Theo, because he doesn't want to get caught. Yeah, there's just a lot of misdirection as well, because we meet like a male nurse named Yuri, who seems to have a very, like a professional relationship with Alicia, but you kind of have that underlying sense of like, is it another sort of like abusive situation, or if it's like another man who is a fan of her and just wants to be involved in her life sort of thing. Oh, and there's issues with another female patient who is always trying to arc up at Alicia, and Alicia has a couple of violent outbursts. And Alicia had violent outbursts towards Theo, which, you know, after the revelation, you feel like it's warranted, because she probably ultimately recognized him in that moment. But he didn't know that. That's another thing as well. I don't know if the author was trying to be too clever, because Theo just came across as so stupid. Like, if being involved in the way that he did, he would want her to just be quiet and not, like, eventually say anything. But why would you put yourself in that position to make her talk? Or, like, get an understanding, like, ultimately, at the end of the day. Yeah.
So the night of the murder, Alicia is found standing beside Gabriel's dead body, covered in blood, holding the gun that was used to kill him. Gabriel had been tied to a chair and shot 5 times in the face.
Yeah.
Alicia, in shock, does not speak. She is arrested and institutionalized for the murder.
Yes.
However, we find out that Theo was there.
Yeah, Theo was there. Because Theo had been stalking them.
And
he had expected Gabriel to be home at a certain time, and
yes,
it wasn't.
Yes, and he tied Alicia up as well.
Yeah, he held her hostage, essentially.
Yes, because he's a freak.
But he's not like his father, though.
He
doesn't want to be like Daddy, but he is at the end of the day.
I was abused.
Yeah, they wait for Gabriel to come home, and then he ties Gabriel up, and then I don't really think he got shot 5 times. I feel like it said that Theo beats him with the gun, like, several times in the face.
Oh, maybe it went off every time he was beaten.
I feel like the gunshot went off twice, because one was like a decoy for Gabriel to think Alicia was dead, and then Alicia shot him as like a final, like, fuck you.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just the whole thing, mixing up of the story of what happened, because there was a little situation where Alicia does eventually begin to open up and talk to Theo for whatever reason, and she, eventually is comfortable enough to reveal the events of the night, and then we think, as the reader, oh, that must be true, but then Theo's like, I knew she was lying from the get-go, because she said a certain amount of gunshots went off when there were a different amount. So.
But I mean, like, she could also be just traumatized.
Exactly, and it's been a long time, and, like, I don't think she would be really wallowing in it.
Yeah. It has been 6 years.
Yeah, so details can get a little hazy.
Yes. Because... Oh, yes, she hasn't spoken a word in 6 years. Yes, since her husband was murdered 6 years ago, she hasn't spoken. It's like, thank you for reiterating that point.
Yeah, I don't know, Theo. Just a weird guy. Yeah, I never really liked him either. Like, I just wanted to know Alicia's story, or, like, the final story at the end of the day. And then, on top of everything, like, Alicia figuring out someone is, like, stalking the house, or stalking her, or... she's noticing a guy pop up everywhere, and, like, no one, like, believes her. Neither her husband, really. He's just, like, assumes she's having another little breakdown, and so he just wants her medicated. Just, like, and it goes to show that, like, her husband never truly, like, cared and loved her, though there was a lot of talking about how much they love each other and care about each other, and, like, they do have a lot of sex, but I feel like when it mattered, he truly just didn't care. And that warrants death. Yes. No.
No, please don't kill anyone.
No, don't kill your spouse over cheating. Because overreaction.
Yes. I have nothing more to say for this book.
That's okay. I just think...
I would rather read Good Girl Complex.
Oh, okay.
Again, than read this.
Fair enough. That's all right. No, I just think ultimately Theo's spiel was he wanted to figure out, what was the final straw. Because... he only knows his upbringing and his upbringing of being abused, so he has that sort of excuse where, like, abused people hurt others, and, like, he really tried hard to not be like that, but ultimately he was. But then he probably wondered the same for Alicia, like, what led her to kill Gabriel? Like, what's her spiel? Like, what led to this moment? And then that's the whole point of being her psychotherapist, was he could unravel that ethically or unethically, however way you want to look at it. At the end of the day, violent people are just violent people. I think he just wanted to know the final straw, because murdering a spouse over cheating, overreaction, and then just being completely silent afterwards. And then everyone just became suspects. Everyone that Theo talked to, like Jean Felix was a bit of a creep. Max being a creep, Christian being a fuckwit. Like, everyone almost has a reason for
it's
being
like
silent.
So they say arsonists, when they light a fire, they will always come back to the scene of the crime, like when, like, the destruction is happening. It's like Theo going back to the scene of the crime, like self-inserting himself. It's like, it is not your job, like,
it's like, just
to figure
just
all of
get
this
away
out
with it. Just go away, like,
it's like, you got away with murder, leave.
She was never gonna remember you. It's just that morbid fucking curiosity.
Yeah.
And maybe just arrogance as well.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's just... Oh, again, as I said, in the moment when I was reading it, I had a fun time. I was bamboozled. I was like, oh my god. I was locked in.
Oh my god.
I wasn't expecting it. No.
I'm glad.
Yeah, you know, just expecting another savior
Yeah.
complex, and like I was expecting her to just like not talk through the end, because the build up is like she's inevitably going to speak again to whatever capacity. But I think it would have been shocking as well if she didn't just speak at all.
Yeah.
Ultimately, tried too hard to be too sophisticated, I think, as well, which probably was the downfall.
Oh, shall we go to the stars?
All right, sure.
I have a really long one. The stars that listeners segment we do at the end of our podcast, where we choose a 5-star and a 1-star review that we resonate with or want to fight with. And we always start with the 1 star because we like to end on a positive note. And I have a really long 1-star one. It goes, I hated this book. The women are all tired, cliched stereotypes that often veer into misogyny. For example, Alicia's aunt is described the first time you meet her as an ugly, old face pressed to a window, and it only gets worse after that, because of course she's fat. Her grotesque, a word actually used in the book, appearance is apparently a mirror of her evil personality. How creative! The author takes that approach over and over again. Young, naturally beautiful women like Alicia and Theo's wife are worthy of interest, while the female characters Theo can't find attractive because their ugly, old, large, fat, fake, stupid are only worth his disdain. Beyond that, the prose was tough to get through, and don't even get me started on the diary sections, which portray Alicia as a woman who either sits in a coffee shop for hours on end, has sex with her husband, or paints him as Jesus. The chapters where she couldn't speak were almost a relief. Overall, the author just seemed more invested in getting to the clever twist ending than in writing a full-bodied story with women who seem like, actual people, which is a pity because that clever twist ending had potential.
I thought I had the stars, but I didn't. So I'm sorry. But I did read that one. I saw that.
Oh, yes. And you were like, I disagree.
No, I agreed. Other people can put things and articulate feelings better than I can. So this is technically a 2-star, but whatever. The beginning hooked me in because I was intrigued to learn more about Alicia's story, that is me, and how her husband was murdered and why she chose to remain silent. However, the book ended up boring as a cheesy murder mystery, with the main character acting like a white-knight detective who would question a bunch of cartoonish side characters that just outright admit their motivations or feelings about Alicia. The twist was interesting but a bit shaky. I think it could have been built up a bit more, in a more believable way. That's fair and valid. I agree with that. 5-star?
5-star. They're all like super long.
Yeah. Alright, I have one.
Oh, okay, you go.
Alright, 5-star. This was fun. It grabbed me the right way from the start and held on. I didn't find it until after reading it that it was Mr. Michaelides is also a screenwriter, and in hindsight, it makes perfect sense as the book plays out like a great thriller movie. Kinsey, shaking her head. or are you reading the same one?
No, I'm shaking my head.
Okay, yeah. Allowing you to visualize the characters and events vividly and keeping you glued to the screen, so to speak. Even if you have ideas along the way of where the story might go, the book provides enough potential alternatives to keep you unsure until the final act. A great book allows you to go back over the details within and see all the threads that were right in front of you and understand how they were woven together to make the final piece. He is a very good craftsman, and I'm looking forward to anything else he may write in the future. It's no surprise that the book has been optioned for film, and I only hope it'll do the story justice. You just read that book to filth. But this also comment made an edit. I just have to add this thought, and I can't imagine why I didn't say it last year when I first wrote this review, but the ending is everything. It gobsmacked me in the most brilliant way. Well done, Alex Michaelides.
The longer I spend thinking about this book, the more I realize just how amazing it is. 2 things bothered me while I was reading it: the way Theo's 2 storylines felt like they weren't the same person, and the unrealistic way the Grove was portrayed. I couldn't tell if it was meant to be a prison or a mental institution, but clearly no one there had any idea of how things should be handled either. Now that I finished the book, I believe these problems were intentional and added to cause confusion and suspense. I was getting a massive Shutter Island vibe. The ending was very satisfying and was the exact amount of crazy that it needed to be, and left me with a total, okay, this is a 5-star book, happiness.
You are so done.
Thank you, everybody, for listening today. If you need me, I will be off this earth as I am removing myself from this plane of existence.
I think Mr. Michaelides owes Kenzie an apology.
Yes. You can find us on Instagram at letterbox_book_club. From there, our link tree is in the bio, where you'll find us in all the places: Spotify, YouTube, RIP, Google Podcasts.
Yep.
How long do we need to keep saying that?
You just keep saying it as long as you want, Kenzie.
SoundCloud if you're old school.
just become a part of the like
Yeah.
ending monologue.
Yeah.
So you gotta keep
If you want to send us fan mail,
it. Don't go that far.
send me a DM on Insta.
We may post pictures of our final candles.
Yes.
That was the point. Of
Oh
this
yes,
as well.
we will.
Yeah.
Our non-Halloween candles for
It's okay.
spooky season.
Yours just looks very like. They are even. Sorry, just the
This
way I'm
one's
looking,
got slightly more in it. Than
yeah,
this one.
just from my angle, like your pink one looks very shallow.
Oh,
But yeah, it just could be the
Yeah.
angle, and it just could be the glass, because the glass
Yeah.
is weird. It's not
Yeah.
straight glass.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
Anyway.
Cheers for joining us on the candle making journey.
thank you, everybody.
Maybe we should start releasing candles. Side hustle.
We'll
We'll give these away. No.
yeah. Like and comment on our post for this when it comes out if you want our candle.
Yeah.
Stay safe out there, everyone.
Yeah.
Bye.
Avoid all Theos at all costs.
Yes.
All right, bye.
Bye.